Welcome to Classic Game Room. What were you doing in 1995? I was up to no good, but I could have been playing this game, The King of Fighters 95 on Sega Saturn. King of Fighters 95 on the Sega Saturn. I have a long, sad history of reviewing King of Fighters games. Not because I don't like them, actually I really like them. But I'm terrible at them. And no amount of practicing seems to make much of a difference. Playing King of Fighters is like playing Super Mario Brothers for me. I really want to be good at it. I'm just not. Kind of like baking. Get me on the grill, I'm just fine, but put me in front of an oven? Epic fail. Now, I've reviewed enough of these games by now that I think if you're watching this show at least, you should be familiar with what the King of Fighters series is all about. They're incredible 2D fighting games from SNK that originated on the Neo Geo. And by King of Fighters 95 and certainly the later ones, they trickled down to other game systems like the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. And as you can clearly see, the Saturn version looks fabulous. I'm actually playing this with my new Sega Saturn S video cables. And it comes with its very own King of Fighters 95 extra RAM cartridge. So your Saturn has the added horsepower to keep up with the Neo Geo, where, not surprisingly, it does a great job. The Saturn is really good at 2D visuals. So the King of Fighters 95 just explodes off your screen with spectacular color saturation, clarity. The backgrounds are really sharp. The characters look good. It's just a fun game to watch, and even more fun to lose at constantly. There's several difficulty settings. I played on normal, got my ass kicked. Tried easy, got my ass kicked. Tried beginner, got my ass kicked. So I figured if I'm going to lose with dignity, and just stuck with normal. There's a wide variety of your favorite King of Fighters characters to choose from. You can play team battle or single battle, and obviously, 2-player, local on the couch multiplayer. This is the Japanese version of the game I checked online, and these are not terribly expensive, even with the RAM cartridge, which you will need. I will say this, I play most of my Saturn games on my American Sega Saturn with the Action Replay card. This one would not work. I had to go to one of my Japanese Sega Saturns so I could use the King of Fighters 95 RAM cart. I'm not sure if that's just my version of the game or if you'll really need to rely on a Japanese Saturn. You can also get this exact same game for the PlayStation and obviously the Neo Geos. I had a good time playing this one, but ultimately, like so many fighting games, it eventually just gets frustrating playing the computer because there's a level I just can't beat, and no matter what I do, I cannot defeat Billy. Billy's just impossible in this game. So I greatly prefer a King of Fighters game, or any fighting game really, versus a friend who's equally bad as me. That being said, I think this is a terrific fighting game on the Saturn. If you enjoy 2D fighting games like the old school Street Fighter games, the King of Fighters series has a lot to offer. There's a ton of characters, quite a bit of depth really, and you're not going to get very far without knowing your character's special moves, which aren't too complicated, but it's a tricky game that's really well ported to the Sega Saturn. And I've got a classic game room shout out and thank you to send to Brian from Kyle, Texas, for sending this to the show. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for making me feel bad about myself. After playing this, I had to go play something like Gran Turismo or Ms. Pac-Man, something I'm good at. These games just kick my ass, but before I leave here, I've got to compliment the music. It's good music to lose, too. I've heard the PlayStation version is not as good as this, and I would expect that the Saturn is way better at these 2D games. You can also get this for the PlayStation 3, or at least you used to be able to. I reviewed it a few years ago. Good game, and it makes the Saturn look amazing. It's the King of Fighters 95. Back from when life was simple, do I drink beer and play Sega Saturn, or do I drink beer and play Sega Genesis? What a dilemma.